Hello, hello. Welcome to Overwatch playoffs for Overwatch League. This is Atlanta Reign versus Chengdu Hunters in the playoffs for day one. And we're just going to kick off with the Assemble Your Hero stage. Going to be where everybody gets their team comps. And there you go. We got two tanks, two healers, or one healer, two DPS, and one support, I think, something like that. Anyways, over on the Changhu side, we got a. Yeah, I forgot what that one's name is. Yeah, hold on. Let's just do this one more time. Ah, of course. Let's get a little familiar. What is that one's? What is that hero's name? Symmetra. Oh, Symmetra and Farah. And Zam. The Wrecking Ball. Diva, Anna, Lucio. Alright, here's what you got for today. The last meeting of these teams was the Countdown Cup. So there's a little bit of rivalry, a little bit of story going on here. And here comes the objective. Wrecking Ball going in first head. Diva for Atlanta Reign is in the front coming. And there's also Reinhardt. Now they're on the point. They're touching the point. Trying to get Changwu Honors off the point as much as they can. And you see the team comp is currently on the right side for Atlanta Reign. Meanwhile, the Tracer is actually going in on the Changwu Hunters and backs off. Pelican does not want to die there. He's a little bit overextended. His team is all the way on the point. Here we have Diva holding down the bullets as they come raining in from Changwu Hunter's side. Changwu Hunters with an Ana looking to pick anybody off from their defense to be able to get onto the point. McCree holding down the Diva coming in from Changwu Hunters. And McCree actually falls right there. Reinhardt actually gets on top, hammers him down. And Reinhardt's going to hold this position with the shield, but Farah is actually trying to break the shield off their defense. Trying to do as much as they can while Mercy pocketing the. I think that. I have no idea who that is. And now we have Tracer over here taking up a pick for Atlanta Reign. He's got the Sombra, but doesn't get the kill. Now he backs off where the team is currently relocating, trying to get their foothold back on the point because they could be a little bit vulnerable to a very nice lamb. And here comes the Farah moving around the point, gets two picks, making another one with the Diva suit going off. Diva's now down, trying to get a respawn going. And here comes the Mercy flying back in and gets a revive onto the Ana. Ana wants to be able to hold this spot down as Changwu Hunters now take the point. Here we have Atlanta Reign coming in. Defenses in the front, holding down the McCree and the Lucio. And they're looking to sneak around through the building. Get a good sighting onto the Farah, but they don't commit fully. They back off. Atlanta Reign taking in 63% of the point. They are almost 2/3 of the way in. And here comes Atlanta Reign. They got the Divas on the point, and so is the Reinhardt. Oh, they actually moved towards their units. Here we have a big fight going on. Lots of damage going on for the team, but the pick is actually on the Changwu Hunter side as Farah gets another kill onto the Reinhardt. Their defense is now completely broken, but not so much because they're still in the building. If they walk in there, they'll easily get blown up by a lot of DPS from the McCree. And Farah's actually got a really nice point from up above. Can she break the Reinhardt's shield and maybe the Divas will? Let's find out. Farah topping up a lot more shots inside the building now. They actually have a little bit of an opening to rush right in and get the point back up for Atlanta Reign's favor. Reinhardt touches the point. D.Va has to back off. And here comes Tracer. Takes a nice kill onto the Mercy or the Ana. Now they have no range. And here comes Tracer trying to mess with or disrupt the front line as much as possible. As she gets the kill on the Wrecking Ball. Wrecking Ball is now not going to do anything to displace them. Atlanta Reign tip on the top of the point. Always a good thing to see, as 72% is now headed towards Atlanta Reign side. Chengu Hunter's at 98%. They have to get back to the point and take it back and contest it. But here comes Tracer, looking to hold it down as she gets a good vantage point of where they're coming in from. Sombra holding down the damage as, ooh, the D.Va's actually looking a little low, but she gets away with her suit. Actually, she doesn't. She gets taken out. And now Late Young has to come back with the reinforcements as he waits to get back into the game. Overtime coming in for Atlanta Reign. Atlanta Reign popping the D.Va suit just to get the mech back. And that goes to Atlanta Reign. First point of the map. All in all, well played by Atlanta Reign. Their DPS was very well protected. And here's a little bit of what the heck is this? Did I skip? I didn't mean to skip. Whoa. No, I did not mean to skip there. Alright, they're preparing. Atlanta Reign, Chengu Hunters, they won a playoffs. Let's get an instant replay onto Sombra. Gets a nice hack. Everybody's in the line of fire as Lucio even gets a nice bounce off of the DPS. Now we got, oh, now we got map 2. This is the map where there's a big hole in the gaps on the sides of the point. Somebody can get knocked off, or somebody can go in from the back and just push them all down to the abyss. As Wrecking Ball here gets a couple of points DPS off. Farah is actually getting revived from being in a very awkward position in the corner. She wants to be right in the center. Lucio actually getting poked down by the Farah's rocket. And Farah's actually weaving her way through the columns, getting all the damage she can onto the Reinhardt and the D.Va, but they're just unstoppable. Their shields are very on point. Lucio wants to get a little bit of a knockoff here. They're not going to let him. Chengu Hunters has a little bit more objective going on in their brain, as their D.Va is on the point, holding it down. She could get knocked off. Reinhardt has a big hammer, lots of force. Gravity is also on the other side of Atlanta Reign. They're on Atlanta Reign's side. And here comes Lucio. Actually disappears. I have no idea what happened. Next thing you know, D.Va's holding it down. And Mercy's pocketing the Farah. Farah's actually doing lots of major damage. Lucio's now down. They're not going to have the speed boost. They're not going to have the health. But here comes the D.Va coming in with the Farah. Farah wants to have a little bit more aggression on her side, as they're going to break through to the point. They're holding the point back down as Atlanta Reign now takes the point. Oh, no, they don't. And now it's actually going to Chengu Hunters, as their Farah Mercy is just too strong. And now we got health boost going for Tracer. She's going to want to be able to move right into the fights as they're happening. Wants full health, does not want to be a little bit low or a little bit damaged. Just wants full engage onto the fight. And here comes the Farah and the Mercy. Actually, Mercy's not in the fight right now. It's just Farah. She has to take a little bit of a secret spot. Try not to get poked down. Oh, gets killed right by the Baptiste. The Baptiste wants to. Oh, and now Lucio actually gets a nice wave push off for the D.Va. So they're actually looking in a good position. Atlanta Reign wants to get back onto the point, but they just can't yet. Their whole team has to be there. And as their team lines up, Lucio getting ready to speed boost into them, because there is nothing else better than a speed boost from Lucio right now. And Wrecking Ball actually gets a trap onto their team as they're pushing onto the site. Reinhardt blocks the big Diva Bomb, which is awesome. And here comes McCree taking in the position in the back, while Tracer actually cleans up the rest. She gets the Ana locked onto the bomb, and actually does not kill the Ana, but gets them to back off for the most part. And now Tracer just popping as many shots as possible. Does not want to seem at least a bit susceptible to anything, so she gets the health. Wrecking Ball gets in there, slams down onto the ground, gets a lot of damage, and the Pharah and the Mercy are there for the cleaning crew as Baptiste tries to hold it down with the shield, but the shield runs out, and now they're actually left vulnerable. Baptiste does not know how to avoid this. Pharah pops off the hailstorm of missiles. Very good on Pharah. She still lives. Actually leaves her in a very vulnerable spot, but she gets away. And now Soldier 76 for Atlanta Reign is bringing back the fight to the objective as overtime is kicking down on Chenggu Hunter's side. They have to touch the point, but Reinhardt, holding the shield down, gets the point. All in all, well done by Atlanta Reign. Well done. Some super picks and some super aiming by Atlanta Reign side. Chenggu Hunters has to reevaluate their strategy. As game 3 kicks off, the score is 2-1 actually. Huh. Is that right? Or 1-0? No. Oh yeah, first map goes to Atlanta Reign's side. Obviously the strong pick. And Chengdu Hunters now looking to pick up on the next map. The power of digital video on demand is a beautiful thing. Chengdu Hunters sweating. Look at the sweat in this man. As we kick off next map, it's gonna be Anubis. Anubis. You're gonna see a lot of Winstons trying to hold down the last choke point before a team wins the game. You're also gonna see a lot of Reapers. Reapers are very good for breaking through to the defense and helping out the attacking side. Have you guys heard of being safe online? Well, with the Xfinity X5, you can. You can be safe online. Now, as we kick off map 2, number 2, Atlanta Reign up 1 map over Chengdu Hunters. Teams are getting ready to pick their heroes. Echo, Sombra, Winston, Diva, Ana, Mercy for Chengdu Hunter's side. Winston can do a lot of breaching through the gates. And this Echo's going to be taking a lot of shots from up above. Atlanta Reign's side also has a Winston. They want to be able to push through this possible Sombra being able to wreak some havoc up and close and personal, as they are actually Atlanta Reign on the attacking side. Chengdu Hunters trying to get to the point. It's going to be all going to start right at the beginning. There's a big, massive barrage of bullets going down to the spawn. Atlanta Reign taking the left flank, trying to get through the first 2 columns of the map. They actually get through with the Diva holding the shield down. Chengdu Hunters backing off. Ooh, they're taking a fight at the platform here. Diva fighting off whoever's coming under the bridge. But she can't hold 2 angles at once, as the platform users, the Chengdu Hunter's side from the platform goes straight to the point. Diva, Diva and Winston both trying to lock down a position, but they just can't. Lucian actually cleans up the Diva at the end. So they had a bit of a number advantage going on for Chengdu Hunter's side. Reaper throwing a lot of shots out, gets to live. Now he's looking to reposition as he gets a little bit of a health. And first point A goes to Atlanta Reign. Which is very good. Now they get to move on to the map. Winston and Diva want to be up in front, taking all the bullets, but not too many where they'll die. And Winston actually gets a very nice jump onto the next point. B is actually going to Atlanta Rain side. Moira doing a lot of healing that does not want to make any holes in this defense at all. But there's the Diva going into the corner for Chengu Hunter's side. Chengu Hunter's now holding down a shield in the bridge, and they just get pushed off. Atlanta Rain has no offense as Lucio is getting choked down by the Sombra. And here comes Diva's little tiny unit inside. That's a little disrespectful. He gets the mech, but is he going to pop it? I think he's just trying to maneuver his way through the map, but Winston's over here, and he's just going to shock her. Very disrespectful by Chengu Hunter's side, but it is map 2, and that's what you're going to have to see. Anna, now getting a little bit of healing going on. She has every right to be sitting in the back and doing little to nothing other than clicking. As Winston and Diva, for Atlanta Rain, they want the point, and they have the advantage. They're coming in as a team. Winston's actually in the back trying to break their defense. Winston dies for Chengu Hunter's side, and the Diva's actually a little bit vulnerable here as, gets a last minute jump on the bomb, but the bomb only takes out nobody. And Atlanta Rain's Winston is now inside of the point. They're getting the shields down. And now Echo pops her ultimate. There goes Echo though as Diva takes her out. Now we got Winston fully charged and ultimated. He is hard as a rock as he goes into the point but doesn't get anything. He gets shut down. Now Diva holding it down for Chengu Hunter's side as a team reinforces, comes back. Now they're pushing it. Chengu's Diva trying to get her ultimate so that she could break them off, and they actually fall back due to the threat of the Diva bomb. And a pause comes in through the magic of video editing. I'm going to get through that pause. But I will say, Atlanta Rain is on the come up for this second point, and Chengu Hunters are in a bit of a vice lock, trying to hold them off from the B and only the B, or else they lose the game. Atlanta Rain is just going to be wanting to throw as many numbers as they can at them. I'm talking DPS. I'm talking defense. I'm talking shield. They are going to want to keep up and be able to take on to the site and still be able to hold it. Wow. That's a long pause. That is a beautiful guy. As different teams up to different things, I reckon they're having fun while playing their professional game. And here comes the pause back to 0 seconds. Its game is live. Diva gets her mech. Diva and Winston on Atlanta Rain are the #1 reason they're going to be able to get into the site. So now they're sticking together through the walls. They don't want... Chengu Hunters does not want to move anywhere out of their positioning. They have a very good positioning. They see them going onto the left flank for the B site. And Winston already popped his shield. They get through to the inside of the building. Now they got a really good hold for the left side of the B point, as Winston and Diva are just jumping around, making mess of all their damage. Oh! Now you see Sombra gets the ultimate. She's going to want to be able to hack as many people as possible. Diva gets the kill onto Sombra though, and now she can't do as she was intending to. As Winston, Reaper comes out with the Death Blossom, takes out Diva, and then the Winston goes down for Chengu Hunters. Now they're actually touching the point, and they've gotten to 2/3 of it. Now they're on 3/3, and that's the point. Atlanta Rain takes the point from Chengu Hunters' hands, and now map 2 goes to the second. Oh wait, no. Is that really the second map? No, right? There you go. Now, Atlanta Rain is taking on to the offense, and Chengu Hunters is on defense. Bit of a story here, as Changu Hunters has to redo their strategy. They are going to end up in the garage, and they have a very good chance to push the advantage as much as Atlanta Reign did, where they got onto the map through the platform. They took A in a matter of seconds, and then B was a little bit of a trouble for them. And they're going to have to see what they come up with. Here comes a Sombra, ready to do a little bit of a big hack. Gets the hack, but that's when, ooh, she gets knocked back farther than she should have been. She has a pocket on her, but I don't know what happened there. AMP comes out, but nothing happens. Somebody's going to have to explain that. And Reaper taking the high ground. I love taking the high ground as Reaper. You get to just pop shots down at anybody who comes in, and they have to look up. That's your biggest advantage. Sombra holding down the left side, the right side, as she actually gets into the back, finds the Ana by herself, but Winston's there. They're actually playing around the Sombra. Sombra actually pops off the abilities. They turn around, and then they actually leave themselves susceptible from the front as, oh, Sombra on Atlanta Reign is actually still alive as she keeps popping shots off to the enemy Sombra. Enemy Winston goes down, and now Changu Hunters are actually a little bit weak as they come into the site, as they didn't even have a Winston, and now actually Winston shows up on the bar on the top, but let's see if he's actually into the point as Diva's holding down. Ooh, gets a nice little bit of a rush onto the enemy Reaper. Changu Hunters are holding down the bridge. They're holding down the bridge and they're holding down the site. That's all they need to do as Changu Hunters gets another kill. They've actually subjugated their enemy team to be completely alone in those fights, and they actually got a nice crossfire going. Very well done by Changu Hunters as they move on to the next to the next objective, which is the B site. Now, Atlanta Reign could do the same thing that they did, or that happened to them, or they could kind of just push them as far back as possible, play the aggressive route as much as they can. Here comes the Echo, getting a couple of heals, getting a couple damage shots. This is good for Echo as she's going to jump up now. She's actually coming onto the side of the right, and now Changu Hunters are actually onto the site. And here comes the Sombra, popping a little bit of shots at the Lucia. Does not want the Lucia to be doing any type of extra crazy strategies, as Winston for Atlanta Reign is actually fully activated. They're pushing them off of the site. Changu Hunters have actually lost their hold onto the site, which is very good for Atlanta Reign's side. But now Atlanta Reign has to back up their defense with another hold from the beginning, which could be really interesting. They couldn't go in through the side again like Atlanta Reign did in the last round. Or Changu Hunters can kind of keep pushing this aggression, as they're getting really good at going through over the first front bridge. And Diva taking a little bit of shots into the side. They don't see anybody. They got no picks. Ana sits back as far away as possible. But here comes Atlanta Reign Sombra looking to pick up a little bit of damage onto the back line as she finds Ana by herself. Ana's now completely hacked. He wants to get away from this. He does not have a very good time to be sitting in the back while being hacked, as the Changu Hunter side pushes onto the site. Diva, Winston, both onto the bridge, but they're not touching up until right now. They're getting a little bit of a tapping, but they just can't break through as Reaper sets himself up for the Death Blossom. Right in the back he goes as Winston, now gone. Sombra gets the hack on him, and he actually cancels him out, but that was only a one pick as Mercy brings back Winston in the game, and Winston now has a full... Ooh, he's fully set on touching that point once again. Ana gets her FMJ bullets. She's now going to pop them off. Gets a FMJ onto the Echo. Echo is now all over the place. They have no answer as Atlanta Reign jumps around trying to get this Echo off. Echo is now floating as the site belongs completely to them from the front, but they still, Atlanta Reign still wants to fight from the back as Diva holding down the defense for the Moira. Moira has a lot of heals, does not need to hold any other button other than the left click, as she does try to get back her heels, but now she's completely slept. Anna hits the nastiest sleep on the Moira. Moira actually has to back off as far as possible as she leaves her Diva completely susceptible to an easy pick. And Diva wants that mecha. It's building up, but it's very slow. Meanwhile, Anna, FMJ Bullet, she is going to pop that right back onto the Winston as soon as her time comes. But for now, Mercy has her revive. Let's see what Winston can do as Atlanta Reign is actually taking on their Winston and putting it up to the helm. That's just not enough. Mercy pocketing the Winston for Chengu Hunter's side, and Chengu Hunter gets the second round. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. And going into the next round, we are best of 3. It's going to be 2 minutes to try and take back both objectives. And seeing that is just a little bit of a sign of concern. They have to play a little non-errorly, if you will. Can't really make a lot of mistakes. I think that's how it is, isn't it? Here's the replay here. Somebody gets the Chengu Hunters gets the hack, but Winston and Mercy are just completely holding it down while Atlanta Reign's Winston is in the back, or not in the back, in the front, pushing off the Anna, doing some extreme measures to try and take out those ultimates for Chengu Hunter's side. And let's see if my predictions are correct. I really do think it's only 2 minutes to try to get the point. So they have to be playing absolutely tremendously. Timer comes down. 2 minutes is on the clock. Chengu Hunters holding down the first line of defense. Now they're coming onto the temple, or the Anubis dolls, or dolls, statues. Coming back through the platform, and Leonard Rain's going to go with the same strategy one more time. Can Chengu Hunters actually stop them in their tracks before they get onto the site? They're actually holding the bridge now, which creates a little bit of a diversion. Enemies on Chengu Hunter's side, they don't know if they need to really push the advantage or they have to hold the spot, but here they go, pushing in. Mercy comes in. She's down, and Echo and Mercy are not going to be able to heal their team. They have to retreat, as Chengu Hunters is actually already losing the objective A. So Chengu Hunters gives up objective A. Very well played by the Winston and the Reaper and the just all the factors that were. And now Lucio jumping around, trying to get a little bit of reconning. Reaper goes in the front with the Winston and the Diva. Moira holding down her left click and heels. And now they're actually going through straight to the clutch zone, I would call it, as they get in through the bridge. Enemy Sombra is actually really far behind, and Diva and Winston are actually onto the point already. Winston has to get his ultimate to be able to push as many people off as possible, but Diva's actually down. Her mech is actually out, and she's now fallen to the Chengu Hunters' DPS. Their damage is completely crucial right now as they try to get that push right back to where it started. And now Atlanta Reign has one more shot to try and get on to objective B, as Chengu Hunters takes the same spot once again. Atlanta Reign leaves 30 seconds on the clock. They only have a Diva mech and a Winston ult and a Reaper Death Blossom, but that's enough for anybody to really get through. They're either going to have to go from the left or from the right. They can't go through the middle. If they go through the middle, they're just risking it all. Winston drops a shield, actually leaves his whole team susceptible as the team is not even there. And Chengu Hunters are actually ready to clean up. But here comes the Diva ult from Atlanta Reign. Does not get anybody. Everybody dodges it. And Winston actually gets a perfect ult. He's pushing them off, trying to get the team to be on the side of the winners. But that's just not enough. Chengu Hunters holding down the objective. Did not lost a single bit of health. They're completely getting healed up by the Anna. And on top of that, the Bridget. And Chengu Hunters holds down the spot. Let's find out. Oh, Plan of Rain. They did not. I don't even. What? I'm sorry. Yeah, they just die. Okay, perfect. So they only got one objective. Is why the one went up. I totally knew that from the beginning. I am reliable and I'm a good caster. As watch another ad for Xfinity. You're a proud sponsor of the Overwatch League. Beautiful stuff. And here comes Shegu Hunters taking on to the next task, which is break through the first objective, on to the next objective, and get to capture B. As Chengu Hunters are going to start from the garage, try to get through to the test statues, and through the first two columns. Oh, Atlanta Rain already running straight to the objective. And here comes Chengu Hunters. Oh wait, no, they're not starting yet. Sorry. Great caster. As taking position for Atlanta Rain. They have 3 seconds more than Atlanta Rain had to try and get the objectives. Which could be a big thing, could not be. As Chengu Hunters start from the spawn. Try to get through the first line of defense. Let's see how it works. They got Bridget on the defense and Winston on another form of defense. And it takes a little bit of a scout. She sees somebody holding the spot. Now they have to worry about the Sombra. The Sombra who was currently last time one of their biggest problems. As somebody in the back is actually holding it down. Echo does not want to be picked off. So she gets with the team. Team's actually fighting. They're doing a nice little scrimmage, but Sombra gets away. And Winston is leading the charge as Mercy's pocketing him. Now they got Atlanta Rain completely on the right side of the map. They're going to go straight to the objective. And Atlanta Rain is actually pushing one more fight onto the Chengu Hunters side. Chengu Hunters are actually jumping off the objective while still keeping the hold onto the right side of the objective. Here comes Diva. Diva's actually getting a lot of shots in, but Diva's actually not in a good position right now. She's half health right now. She needs a little bit of a boost to try to get to the A side. As there she goes. She actually loses her mech, goes in straight for the kill, but does not get it. Chengu Hunters holds down their Diva onto the Fountain. Fountain is completely secured by Winston and Diva. And if they really want to do something, they're actually compromising a lot of security for the B site. Sombra actually gets slapped by the Ana, and she's now actually retreating. Good retreat. You know, you don't want to give up a kill there. But objective A goes completely to the Tengu Hunter side as their defense is just too strong for anybody to contest. Leaving that though, they're actually going straight to B, and since Atlanta Raid had to fight the objective A at the last second, they're actually in a bit of a compromise. Do they want to go for full on defense, or do you just want to see how much they can get away with? As you can see, Chengu Hunters has a Sombra on top, which is not being detected at all. It hacks the Diva. Chengu Hunters is now in a very good spot to hold down this Winston, as Winston cannot get his ult off completely, which is lost value. Sombra pushes onto the objective B. They don't have an answer for this, as Diva actually throws down the ult, but the Winston just cleans it up with the shield. It was so cracked. Now you see, Wrecking Ball come out from Atlanta Raid's side. They have to get everybody off the objective so that they can hold it down, but they got 2 seconds left. It's overtime going in for Chengu Hunters. Can they actually hold it down? They're going to be a little even with the mech, but mech comes out. He has to use it. Now, Chengu Hunters are actually holding down the objective B, but it's contested. And not for long, as Tracer goes down. They actually get a point over Atlanta Rain, and Chengu Hunters takes the second map. Very well played. All professional, full skill. As game 3 kicks off in a couple minutes, we're going to see Atlanta Rain gearing up for the third map. Uh-huh. Oh, it's payload next. Cool. Magic of video editing, we skip the fountain. And we skip that. Oil reward. As we get into the third map, it's gonna be, I know this map, 200%. Ah, yes. Kings Row. Hype it up for Kings Row. And we're just gonna have the heroes picked out here. It's gonna look like a couple of McCrees here and there, Hanzos. This map is all about getting map control, as towards the end they just have a lot of defense for the defending side. You take up hills, you could take low hills, you could take back. Yeah, it's just a lot of flanking. Let's get into the game though and see what exactly is gonna go down for Atlanta Rain and Changu Hunters. You can see here Atlanta Rain's running with the McCree and the Tracer, along with the Diva and the Reinhardt, followed up with Baptiste and Lucio. And on the Changu Hunter side, we have Hanzo and Symmetra, Winston, and Wrecking Ball, and I forget his name. So something with an S. Anna and Mercy. They're gonna have a pretty good amount of fights here, as both teams are pretty even on the damage. Unless Hanzo can get a nice ultimate to completely wreck him. But this map is a little bit scattered for a nice hand Hanzo. We're gonna have to see. As oh no, I'm not doing that. Sigma. The heck just happened? A little far. Yeah, okay. So, back to where we were. We have a Pharah and a Mercy pocketing, and Hanzo taking a little bit of shots at the Reinhardt. Reinhardt actually wants to relocate, get right to the objective, which is moving forward, as they can't do that with Tracer behind them. So you're going to have to try to lose the Tracer from their tails as Reinhardt comes in smashing around the hammer. They can't touch the point just yet, but as try as they might, they will touch the point. Sigma actually stays onto the point, holds down his rocks are coming in, and they're not doing enough damage though. But they actually get them enough to back off. The team is there, reinforcements are there. Nothing's scarier than a whole team of sweaty gamers. And Reinhardt puts the shield down. He's coming through the front, and so's Tracer though. Tracer is seeing this, just trying to work around it, going through the back, seeing who's gonna be able to pick off. As Atlanta Rain though, with that, they have completely defended Objective A. They're not going to let it go just so quick. And they have a lot of advantages here, as too many positions to count for Changu Hunter's side. Changu Hunter's now. Wrecking Ball is coming back to wrap around with the team. Sigma holding a little bit of damage down. They got a little bit of a crossfire here, but here comes the Baptiste putting down a wall. It's a very good wall to try to fend off anybody who's going to pop shots in there. Anna taking a little bit of a shot from the McCree, and here comes the Sigma to defend, but Sigma's actually out of position as Mercy and Pharah are actually right on top of their heads. If she gets a nice barrage, and then it's going to be very good for Changu Hunter's side. She doesn't even need it, as Changu Hunters move on to the payload. And as it's winding up, here comes Wrecking Ball onto the freaking Baptiste. Baptiste is actually completely scared out of his mind as Wrecking Ball gets pocketed by the Pharaoh, and he goes back to the payload. Pretty good numbers, pretty good advantage right there. They're going to have a little bit of a couple extra miles on their side as the payload moves towards the 30-meter mark. And right there is where you don't want to be as a payload carrying user. There's a diva holding down the front. Anna's not going to be able to pick them off. She's just not going to be able to get any entries. Luckily, they have Baptiste. They completely swapped that on me. And Tracer, jumping around the buildings from the top, wants to clear out any type of danger coming in from above. As Tracer on the other team, or Tracer on the Atlanta Reign side is, contesting. Ooh, but here comes the sleep. Here comes the triple slam, quadruple slam from the Sigma. They are not going to be able to face that as they try to back off. Their heals are good. The Reinhardt shield is half health. They have to keep it down. And they do. They get back on the payload. Atlanta Reign is actually holding down the payload and keeping Tengu Hunters straight from the win. And here comes a little bit of a maneuvering from the Pharah. Does not want to get caught out. So he goes from the top. And now Reinhardt has to take a couple of hits from the shield. But he has his slam. Reinhardt's slam can do a lot of damage, especially for the Tracer that's coming in from Atlanta Reign's side. Or from a Tengu Hunter's side. As McCree's actually holding it down in the middle. Trying to get as much picks as possible. But he has ult, so it's okay. Pharah gets a nice barrage onto Baptiste and McCree. McCree and Baptiste are definitely crucial picks for Tengu Hunter's side as Tengu Hunters takes down the Diva, and now they have to just get the little, they get the Diva from the suit and everything, and now the payload is moving towards the desired spot. Let's get an instant replay on that. Pharah pops a barrage, gets the maneuvers around the Reinhardt, and then throws a couple of extra shots. Now they're completely blasted. As Reinhardt and Diva holding down the payload, trying to get it from inside, but it's their strongest point. They're just going to have to put in a little work to try to push back a little. And if they can hold it down for as long as they can have a little bit of an advantage with the time. As this is one of the hardest points to get across. Here comes the payload moving back a little, but somehow gets touched by the Sombra, I think. Or no, that was the Diva, but Diva goes down. She sacrificed the mech for it. And Tengu Hunters has to back off. They're actually getting picked off from the behind. That's not going to be good for them. As they're trying to get back onto the payload. Moving. They just have to go forward. But Reinhardt is there. And he's got his big shield. That shield's not going anywhere. They pulled out the Hanzo on us. The Hanzo's jumping around. Or Hanzo, the Genji's jumping around. But the Genji gets spotted by the McCree. Very well played by Atlanta Reign. And Reinhardt actually backs off there. They are coming back to the payload. They've lost their initial defense from pushing out and grabbing the Genji. But Genji's actually no more as the Pharah comes in. It's a little bit of a tactic to try to get it past the choke point. And Pharah's popping shots. She's getting a couple people in the windows. Windows are not good if you're going against the Pharah. As the Wrecking Ball comes in, racks the McCree, puts him in the ground. And now Reinhardt for Atlanta Reign has to hold this down because he has every single means of doing so. And here comes the Tracer with the reverse. That was a good ult. Gets back into the safety of his team. Changu's Pharah is actually dead right now. They're not going to be able to push a lot. Oh, but they actually do with the Sombra. Sombra actually gets invisible, gets real up close and personal. And now they pushed it right to where they want it. They've now continued the game from overtime to 1 minute and 30 seconds. They got to push this into their base. But they're too close to the base. They have to get really tactical with this. If they somehow get to overextend past the payload, they take them out. It gives them enough time just to push it right in. But are they going to? Here comes McCree with the deadlock onto the Hanzo. Hanzo did not see that coming. And gets a couple of rolls in. Is he going to get the picks? He gets that pick on the Mercy. Gets pretty close. Here comes the Reinhardt from the enemy team, though. Oh, the wrist is actually pulling up from Tengu Hunter's side. They have 40 seconds. This is the final push before they get any type of movement onto that payload. And the Mercy's right there on top. She has a revive. This is going to be a big fight, and you're going to see it now. Tracer has her bomb. She's going to throw it down as soon as she gets the right target. Farah looking to get a little bit of damage in, but she didn't. Mercy actually can't even revive that. And, oh, the Tracer gets on top of the Mercy and on top of the Ana. That's not good for Chengu Hunters as 9 seconds are left onto the map. Tracer's actually pulling up with some invisible tricks. Now she's actually getting through, and she's actually come back to where she started. Now she's on the Ana. Ana and Hanzo are trying to get the Tracer off, but the Tracer's just too clean with the movement. As overtime's kicking in, D.Va is holding down the payload for Chengu Hunter. Oh, Chengu Hunters are actually moving to the objective where they want to be. The Tracer was just a little too far pushed. And now they got an Orisa onto the payload. They're going to get a nice shield that just keeps moving with them. Reinhardt holding down the spawn. And here comes McCree getting another deadly bolts. Oh, they don't land as much as they want to. But Tracer actually gets the mech from the Chengu Hunter's D.Va. Orisa holding down. Oh, she gets a damage boost. And unfortunately, D.Va takes it out immediately. But here comes the barrage from Farah. Barrage is going to be very clean as Chengu Hunters are actually really excited. They're pushing with so much movement. And the Baptiste goes down to the Farah barrage. That was absolutely exceptional from Chengu Hunters' push. As overtime's kicking down, they have to keep the point. They're just doing everything they can to touch the payload. And the Hanzo comes out with his nasty dragon. But it was just enough for Chengu Hunters to take the first round. See, they get 3 points for their absolute total objective control. And that's map 3. So Atlanta Reign, they're just going to have to share the energy as they go into the next pick for the heroes. You saw Sigma really worked out well for Chengu Hunters. He was able to get a nice quadruple slam when they were pushing the payload. But was it enough? I would say not. They lost. And here comes the pick from both sides. Hanzo, Tracer, Winston. Winston's going to be good for breaking into those windows, breaking around the control of the map. D.Va, Baptiste, and Lucio. You see an instant replay here. Chengu is just breaking their defense. Oh, he actually manages to push the wrecking ball outside of the map to his doom. Doomfist would be proud. As Objective A is going to get ready to be held down. Atlanta Reign. Got a 60% cheer from the audience. And they're actually pulling out the Widowmaker. And they get back to the Baptiste and the Echo. And here comes Junkrat from Chengu's side, trying to make it as miserable as possible to even try to get through the statue of... Oh, I forgot the map name. Anyways. Here comes the Orisa holding down the shield. The shield's going to be really good for Hanzo. He's very vulnerable to any type of damage. But here comes the recharge. Orisa's actually on Atlanta Reign's side as well. So there's 2 Orisas. They're going to want to be able to break through those shields if they want to get anywhere. And Junkrat's essentially very good. He breaks the shield right there. You see it. Now he's popping a lot of damage. Orisa's just in the air, juggling. And now we see Mercy. Mercy trying to get their team back to a good spot as D.Va goes down. It's not looking good for Atlanta Reign as they can't break through the first line of defense. And Ana's popping the shield, or popping the heals on the Orisa. Here comes the mech from Atlanta Reign's side. And Orisa and the D.Va are trying to get a little bit of foothold onto the site. They got to move forward for Atlanta Reign to be able to move onto the site. And Mercy and Mercy and Echo are currently floating from above. They actually dodged the Hanzo ult. The Hanzo ultimate is not good enough as Diva from Changu Hunter's side is just ripping them apart with the shield and the missiles. And she actually has an ult right here. She's going to pop it right there at the worst time possible as everybody gets behind the statue. Atlanta Rain is in a good position to move through if they can just get past the Orisa. But, oh, Mercy comes out from both sides. They're all playing the air dog fights. And Hanzo gets a nice pick onto the Mercy. Changu Hunters is completely left to go back to their spawn. Objective A is going towards the Atlanta Rain side. And Objective A now secured by Atlanta Rain side. Now they're going to move on to the payload as they're getting right through the Hall. Hall is just taking some shots, but Orisa gets a nice up close and personal shield. It's going to be good if they can manage to hold it off. So Orisa pops another shield that actually gets blown up immediately. Orisa just has to wait for cooldown. And once the payload gets through, they're pushing through behind the payload. Hanzo gets the dragon onto the side of the map, but it just separates them. It's not good enough. As Junkrat for Changu Hunters is just doing everything that he should be, destroying. As here comes the Diva from Changu Hunter's side, gets the good hold. And now Junkrat wants to get aggressive. Echo and Mercy are actually on top of them. And the Mercy and Echo just completely obliterate Junkrat. Now we're getting into it as Echo gets a nice shot from behind. Anna's actually in a little bit of a pickle. She gets getting shots, but the heals are coming in. Baptiste does not want to let his team die. As now you see the Changu Hunter's ult comes out, another Hanzo ult, and here comes Atlanta Rain. They're actually going to keep pushing the payload. It's not supposed to be this easy, but they're going the path of least resistance. Here comes the Orisa ultimate, and now there's a lot of damage on Atlanta Rain's side. As Diva gets pushed back, he gets her mech though. Can she keep holding it down? Who immediately loses the mech, but there's the Junkrat bomb that we so sought to never see. Mercy goes down for Atlanta Rain side. They have a little bit of amount of healing. Now they have to break through the Baptiste, but Echo is actually there. Do a little bit of healing, do a little bit of shooting and everything. Diva gets through. She's inside of their base now as Changu Hunters has no reason to be playing Junkrat. There it is. The switch comes out. Anna and Hanzo are now on the Changu Hunter side. They're looking to tear him up from afar. They just have too much to deal with, too many angles, and they're just going to have to get the picks that matter, which is the Mercy and the Echo. Oh, here comes the Diva ult from Atlanta Rain side. Everybody dodges it, though. It was a really good place, though. Did you guys know that we are sponsored by Xfinity in the Overwatch League? They have the fastest speeds ever. They're really fast. No, we can't. And what's going to happen here is in the middle of that break, we have a lot of fights going on. Hanzo trying to get the picks onto the Anna and to the Hanzo. Here comes Diva coming in for Changu Hunters. Wants to hold it down, but the shield is not good enough. That shield is not doing enough shielding. Echo gets in from the top and gets the Orisa. Now they have no shields onto the payload, and it's still being contested, though, as Orisa actually does not have a shield. And next thing you know, they push the payload. Atlanta Rain takes map 3 to the same level of damage that Changu Hunters did too. What a surprise. As 2 minutes and 42 seconds are on the clock for them to do the same thing again. This time Atlanta Rain is going to be holding down the first line of defense, and Changu Hunters has to plow their way through. Both objectives. You're going to get their heroes out. They're going to try to do the same thing they were doing earlier, while Changu Hunters is doing a little bit close to the same thing. Now they got the Anna, which is going to let them definitely blow up a lot of tight corners, as Atlanta Rain will need to be very resourceful with their shields. And you see the instant replay here. Echo still from the top, mowing them down, and gets to go around onto the Hanzo. Hanzo was completely left by himself. And the sucking, the blowing comes from the Echo, and Echo does not want to give that kill up, so she takes it. Widowmaker here trying to get the first pick. Let's see if she can get it onto the Diva, but that's not going to happen. Immediately switches right out to the Ana. And now we have a little bit of a contest of who's got the most range as they're both popping each other off from a little bit of afar. Echo. It's on top, and now there's a little bit of a problem. She's pushed a little farther than we wanted. Tengu Hunters has to hold down the site. Site is now completely vulnerable as they're taking damage from all forms of directions. Orisa has to throw a shield right now, but she can't. It's a cooldown. And Hanzo's actually in a little bit of pickle. He's jumping around, he's trying to dodge, and he's doing a good job. But here comes the Ana right-clicking on him. And that's not going to happen. As she gets revived by the Mercy, though, the fight's still going as Echo's actually under the ground. But she goes right back up. Hanzo's holding down the building. It's really good. He doesn't need to worry about the Echo. And Atlanta Rain is actually pushing onto the site, but they just lost their shield. They need to recalibrate one more time. And Mercy actually jumps onto the Hanzo. Atlanta Rain is not good right now. They are not healthy. They are down 2 people. They have to recoup as 1 minute and 23 seconds are on the clock. You've seen the most aggressive strategy that they can take, and that's not to let them get on A. But if they do get on A, they're not going to have enough time to go on B. Here comes the Hanzo from Tengu Hunter's side. He's actually going to throw the dragon. He gets a pick onto the Baptiste. Baptiste is not going to be able to hold down with his wall, so they have to recoup and recalibrate. Atlanta Rain holding down the Orisa shield. Orisa shield comes out. She's getting juiced up by the Ana. This is very good for trying to get onto the point. With 48 seconds left on the clock, they have only touched it once with a little bit of health. Here comes the Echo, throwing out as many shots, but Diva's actually throwing more shots. And they're actually getting the Diva mech off onto the Hanzo. Hanzo, who was just obliterated by the Diva mech. As it self-destructs, here comes Tengu Hunter's Diva mech. They actually get a position on the toll booth, and they actually dodge the Tengu Hunter's offensive Diva mech. But Atlanta Rain actually gets to touch the point. Gives them a point for the next round. Last round coming up, Tengu Hunters. They're going to be on the garage. They're going to be in front of the statue, and they're going to have to try to break through the first line of defense. With a little magic of video editing. Oh, well, what? A map actually goes to Atlanta Rain because they actually touched the point. Huh. Well, that's pretty good. All right, we're going to take a break here, folks. But when we come back, we're going to find out if Atlanta Rain has what it takes to take this map and carry it onto the next maps in the pool. Look at the Diva mech comes down, breaks that Hanzo, and there goes the Orisa as 2 people are now targeting him. Echo is still taking those nasty positions. Boom. Alright guys, tune in next time. Ciao.